Okay. Hi, Jade. I'm so excited to do this today.
I am so excited to read your records. This is going to be good. Um, okay, so shall we just begin?
Yeah.
Have you ever had an Akashic reading before?
Yes,
Are you
I
familiar?
have had one reading. I didn't know anything about what it was when I did it, and it totally blew my mind. And now I feel like I want to know more. So yeah,
Yeah.
I had a reading with somebody else within the last year.
Okay, within the last year. Okay. So I'll just give you a little brief introduction as to like what the Akashic records are, so that anyone else watching this also just has a nutshell understanding. So, the Akashic records, I always think that there are like two ways of explaining it. There is the actual energetic way to explain it, and there's like the human way that helps us wrap around like what it is. So, the energetic way, what it actually is it is an energetic frequency, a site. You can think of, yeah, like a site that lives in the seventh dimension. We are in the third dimension. Everything that is matter that we can feel, everything that we can see is a third dimension. So the seventh dimension is something that we can't logically see, but it is there and it lives between us, all around us in the universe. And the Akashic Records, again, is that site that you can tap into, and anyone can actually, everyone has the ability to tap into their own Akashic Records, but it takes training and it takes time to practice. And so I've taken the training to be able to read it for others. And again, the Akashic Records are, yeah, a site where all information and all consciousness of everything that has ever encountered, passed through the universe is recorded. All information of every soul, everything living, every event, past, present, and future is all there. So, in the human way of thinking about it, you can think of it like a library. Okay. So it's a library. It has all of these archives of every single person's history, every single soul that has ever traversed this universe. And that includes animals, that includes, it includes you, obviously, and it includes everything that has ever lived. And what we do is we're going to go into this library, we're going to pull out your book, essentially, the book of your soul, and you can ask any questions, get any guidance um, from your soul's blueprint. And that's essentially what the Akashic Records are. A few things to note is that um, with the Akashic Records, everything that comes through, all the information that is channeled through to you today through me, is essentially, you can think of it based off of the energy of the highest timeline in your soul's blueprint. All information is for your highest good, for the highest love, for the highest light and being of everyone. So, with that said, you also have to remember that, how do I phrase this? We love, okay, as humans, we love when questions. Okay, we love to know like when things happen, when things are going to happen. And a lot of clients will bring to me questions that are like about timelines. Really important to note that everything that is channeled through today for you is based off of the current energy of where you are today, everything that has happened up until this day, today. So you can make a decision 10 minutes after the session, tomorrow, in 2 months' time, in 2 years' time, that could change the course or delay the course or completely eliminate the course of any timeline that we speak about today based off of your decision, right? So basically that means is that you have free will and other people also have free will. So just keep that in mind in terms of like the information that comes through and like what it entails. Do you have any questions so far?
No, I don't.
A
That all
lot.
makes a lot of sense.
Okay. Few things to know, other things to know is that how and like why questions are best, like bigger open-ended questions are best, because that's how you're just going to get more information. Again, like when questions are possible, I can answer them for you if they're available to you at this time. But yeah, again, remember that those answers can change, right? That's based off of where you are right now. Anything else I want to say? No questions?
Mm-mm.
Okay. How this will work is that it'll just be a conversation between me and you. I know I asked you to have like a couple questions prepared, or like, ideas in your mind as to like what you want to talk about or ask about. Um, so how this will work is that I will read a prayer to you out loud. Some of it will be quiet, some of it will be out loud. I will anchor into your records. I will channel a written message for you right off the bat. Usually you can think of this as the message that your guides and the Akashic records, the beings and the energies of your Akashic records, what they want to impart to you to begin with. Oftentimes, this starting point will kind of nudge you into the right direction to begin with. And we'll touch on probably the questions that you have in mind. What else? Know that when I do readings, sometimes I will close my eyes when I just speak. Sometimes I will look off in the distance. It helps me channel. And also how I receive information is sometimes through images, sometimes through words, sometimes through feelings that I feel in my body. And so I will just relay this information to you when it comes up, often as description, and you can let me know how it lands, and you can ask any clarifying questions at any point. So it's just like, yeah, I'll just be like spitting out information to you from the records, and you'll just be responding and asking wherever you need.
Great. That sounds
Okay.
good.
Okay. So how are we feeling? Ready?
Feel really ready, really excited.
Okay. Let's take a breath. Okay, so to start, I'm just going to ask for your full name, your first, middle, and last maiden name.
Maiden name?
Maiden name,
Okay.
yeah.
Madeline Rosie Hewitt, Hewitt.
Hewitt. Okay. And that's all the information I need from you. I'll just need you to say your full name again, all out loud, followed by the sentence, I am open, I am willing, and I am ready to receive.
So I just say my first name and then that
Yeah.
sentence. I'm open and
First
willing.
name. Yeah. Full
First,
name. Full name.
a full name. Okay.
Full name. Mm-hmm.
My name is Madeline Rosie Hewitt, and I already forgot what the sentence is.
I am open.
I'm open,
I am willing.
I'm willing,
I am ready to receive.
and I'm ready to receive.
Beautiful. All right, so let's anchor in. I will read out the prayer and we'll see where it goes. And so we do acknowledge the forces of light, asking for guidance, direction, and courage to know the truth that is revealed for our highest good and the highest good of everyone connected to us. Holy Spirit of God. Help me to know Madeline in the light of the Akashic Records, to see Madeline through the eyes of the Lords of the Records that enable me to share the wisdom and compassion that the masters, teachers, and loved ones of Madeline have for her. Help me to know Madeline in the light of the Akashic Records, to see Madeline through the eyes of the Lords of the Records, enable me to share the wisdom and compassion that the masters, teachers, and loved ones. Okay. I'm going to channel you a written message and then I'll read it out to you. Okay. Okay. Dear Madeline, I'll show it to you actually really quick. There it is. Okay. Dear Madeline, here is the beginning of a new season in your life where you play big, where you are excited, and where you know your worth. I think it's deeply. There is no fear to be had when you are in your excitement, for there is protection for you always. Trust the protection that is something to you, that is given to you, that is bestowed, for it is yours, and no one can take this away from you. Be wary of playing small, of making yourself fit into boxes you don't want to, and know that all decisions are yours.
That really lands.
Tell me, tell me more.
Well, I do feel like I'm in a new, I don't know if you said season or phase, but
Season.
I totally feel that. And I feel like um, I've never felt like I have to play small, but I feel like more than ever that I can play huge right now.
Yeah.
And the more like I fully dive into what's exciting to me, the better my days are and the better my life is. And I'm really like seeing that. But
Yeah.
sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm like, I just want to quit everything and just like work at the mall and just
Okay.
make it easy. And then I realize, no, I don't. I don't even think that. It's like it pops up when I'm unconscious, like when I'm sleeping. And when I'm actually awake and thinking, I don't actually think that. So I know there's some lingering part of me that's like really afraid of being like very successful or fully me or whatever that means.
Yeah. So there, it just feels like a lot of, I mean, we've said it already, but bigness and excitement that is in your field, that is almost like, it's not that it's like not untapped. It's kind of like you're at the edge of it. Um, and it's about, it's not even allowing necessary. It's not really about like allowing yourself to be excited because you are excited about it. It's it's the protection piece. It's remember that you are protected. Remember that you have guides. Remember that you can, what you desire and what excites you is what is meant for you. And what is meant for you will never be taken away from you. It'll always be there for you. And it is normal, it is human to have those fears and those reservations. And that's a matter of, shifting that in a cognitive way. But for you, I think deep in your soul, you are aware, and it's very, very there. And so it's a matter of like almost like surrendering to knowing that you are protected in your decisions, if you can do that.
Okay, that's helpful. I don't ever really think about the protection piece, and I think that that will help me.
Do you communicate with your guides at all, or with
I
the
have one,
universe?
I'll just call her an angel because I don't know what else to call her, but I have one that's so clear and present with me for my whole life that I really know. And then other than that, I just have been told a lot that I've got all these guides, but I don't really connect to them and know who they are or sense them.
Okay, yeah, because it's quite interesting. It's like I can feel a lot of energies in your field. So you've been told that before, like that it's been brought up to you. Yeah. So like more, almost like more, I want to say like, I don't want to use the word normal, but like more than the average being that I have worked with, you have more energies in your field, which means I think it is actually that support of those energies that it's almost like that is the thing that gives you the push and the propelling to have the dreams and the visions that you have, if that makes sense. It's almost like there's almost like it's like a train, and I don't know if a train is the best metaphor for this, but there's a spring behind. It's a spring, essentially. There is a spring under all of your actions and your decisions that wants to push. It's always like wanting to move, wanting to push. Let go. Let go. And that spring is actually support. That spring is universal support.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll let you know if more comes in that, around that. Do you have any questions?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I have questions.
Okay.
Just start right in with one of them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So for a number of years now, I feel an extremely obvious spirit baby floating around me and a much less obvious, not sure if it's there spirit baby. So there might be two, but there's one that I just feel like I know it's there. And I just want to know if there's anything that I need to know about that spirit baby. I don't even know what to ask, but I'm just kind of wondering, like, why isn't it here yet? And is there anything that I can do to help it incarnate, or is that not up to me?
It's not up to you. It's not up to you. Um, if you have the intention there, then you are in alignment with it and you are doing everything you need to, to give the spirit baby the space and the timeline for them to anchor in. I'm getting a girl. I feel a girl, and I'm getting the number 3. Don't know what the 3 necessarily means. Does this number 3 mean anything to you?
No,
Just take note of it. 3.
I'll just pay.
Um, feels quite close. Um, is the spirit baby that you've been communicating with a girl?
No, it's a boy, but it also made it really clear to me that that doesn't mean that it's undecided what it wants to incarnate as.
Mm.
But it feels like a boy is right here.
Okay.
The other one that I don't sense as well, I have no idea. I don't have any communication. I just have like this tiny sense that there's another one following me around.
One thing that is coming up is that, I mean, I feel you know this, but the more you are in alignment and intentional with your life and the way you in your soul desires and soul alignment want to live your life, the more space you will create for them to drop in, right? If you are almost like too busy creating pockets of space, or really actively creating pockets of space for someone else or for another soul, you detour, or you detract, not detract, but you kind of like take a detour from being on your own timeline and what is of the highest good of everyone, including like you, your partner, family, and all the whole network that ripples out, is for you to be in your excitement, in your highest timeline, moving with that spring. And when you are that is the best thing that you can do. That's what I'm getting.
Okay.
That is actually what is going to create the space, as opposed to like not forcing, but like as opposed to like really actively like making it.
Yes. I think I understand.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Um, Great. Then I think I'm ready to ask another question unless there's anything else around that for me. Or if those spirit babies or the one that you're seeing, if they have anything to say.
Let's see. They okay, so I can't tell if this is coming directly from the spirit baby or the spirit babies or from your guys in general. This is just coming from your field. Um, they just want you to be happy, right? They don't want you to push too hard. They don't want you to resist too much. They just want you to be happy. They just want you to live and know, trust that everything is working out in divine order. um you right now, like it really very much, your field feels like you are at like a, I keep saying the word edge, but maybe it's like, we'll just use the word edge. It feels like you are very close to something, like a big change happening. um be in that, just be in that for now, be in that for now, and everything else is going to slot in as you align with that. That's like very much the priority thing in your field.
Okay,
Yeah.
feel that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Exciting.
It feels really accurate, actually. So cool.
Very, very exciting time. Okay.
Okay, so my next burning question,
Mm.
I have two cats and they are siblings and I've had many cats and I have never been so connected to these cat, like to any cats except for these, especially one of them. And I'm wondering like, who are they and do we have a history? What is the deal with these cats? Like, I feel more connected to them than almost anybody I've ever met in my life.
I mean, soul contracts. Can you tell me their names so I can anchor in?
Pierre and Francine.
Oh, I love their name.
And Francine is the one that I feel an extreme connection to, but also both.
Okay. Give me a second. Um, okay. So intuitively, it's gonna sound wild. Okay. The first thing that comes up intuitively is that in a past life, in your soul in a past life, Francine's soul has been your grandmother.
Oh,
Yeah,
that totally feels true.
she's your grandmother. um, yeah, she's your grandmother, and she that is the past life connection that is coming up like the strongest, like that is playing out the strongest in the roles that you have in this life. But that's not the only connection that's been there. I can feel that there is a stronger connect. There's like it's been a pattern that's played out um in various timelines. But yeah, grandma.
Hmm.
Very nurturing. It's almost like she's teaching you a lot, isn't she? Like in a very subtle way. She's teaching you a lot about like just like life lessons, like
Def-
little life lessons.
yeah, very, that's a really, that feels so true. Okay.
I can feel the connection, and it just makes me smile. Yeah, it feels like she has a lot of wisdom, and she is imparting that to you in a lot of ways that even makes you feel a little bit like a not like a child in a good way. Um, yeah. Oh.
That's so sweet.
I can ask about Pierre as well. Let me ask about Pierre.
Yes.
Okay. Give me a second. Soul family friends.
Mhm.
Just been in your soul family incarnated multiple times. A lot of friendships, a lot of more like a um less of like a familial, like a less of like an ancestral relationship, if that makes sense, and more of like an equal relationship in the way that it's played out in different timelines. Um, like friends, good friends.
I feel that too. Yeah. Cool.
Oh, I love that because I have the same sentiments around my own pets, like specifically at this time. So
Yeah.
I know how that feels.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, that's very eye-opening.
Mm.
Okay. So, should I ask another question?
I have another something else coming in. Um, and this is for friend. I think it's for Francine. I think her name was Marion.
Marion? Okay.
I'm just getting Marion.
Well, I'll
Like
try it out on her.
Marion.
Okay.
Marion. Yeah, that's what I'm getting. So
Cool.
random.
That's really funny because my husband and I always joke about how we wish we knew their real names. So I'll talk to her and ask if she wants to be called Marion. Oh,
No, the Francine. I love that name. So cute.
okay.
Okay.
All right. So another question I have is about my stepdad, David. Um, I'm just kind of wondering why we are in each other's lives, if we have a history. I'm just very curious about him.
I'm getting like a mixed bag of do you have mixed emotions about him?
I wouldn't say I have mixed emotions. We've just had, he's one of my, I guess, yeah, because he's one of the most important, special people of my whole life, but also I've had so much difficulty, just not so much right now, but our history has been very challenging. But I can't imagine my life without him.
Yes, he feels very activating. He's like an activator. That's his role in your life. Um, what I'm getting is the word respond, response. Can you clarify? A part of his role, what I'm getting, the first thing that comes up is um he is in your life in this lifetime to teach you. His soul is like the contract there is to teach you how you can almost like to teach you how to communicate better as a human specifically. Um, there's a lot around communication. It's just what I'm getting. Teaching you how to respond to
Okay.
people, how to respond to yourself, teaching you how to respond to life, and learning lessons in the way you communicate with the world. He's like activating in that sense. Um, Another thing we can dive into this. I'll just put this in case I forget. Getting some stuff about you being a star seed. Do you know that term?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's why they're focusing on like David. Is that his name?
Yes.
David. David. Him in your life, teaching you how to essentially like be a human, how to like work through challenges as a human. Very specifically, they're emphasizing human, and I think it's because they want us to dive into the the alien part of you, but that's on the side. Yeah. Do you have anything else? Any other? Keep the conversation with me.
Um, yeah, no, I totally see that. And I would also like to dive into understanding more about the whole alien starseed thing. That's not new information to me at all, but it's something I obviously struggle with grasping because I'm here living as a human. So, like, I don't really even know what to ask about that other than that I want to know more about what does that really mean that I'm a starseed, and like maybe like why did I decide to be a human this time?
So you've been human. This is going to be so woo woo for some of the people watching.
Okay.
You have been human more than once. Um, Immediately the starseed group that I'm getting. First of all, just know that people love to categorize where their origins, star origins are, but know that most souls have lived in various different systems. And so this is just either the most relevant group to you in this lifetime, or maybe one that you have um, incarnated as more often than others. I'm getting Andromedan.
And Andromedan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Andro, Medan, I believe.
Okay.
Um, so you can look that up
Yeah.
as a later fact. Why tap in why? You have a big mission on Earth. You have a big mission on Earth. And that mission has played out actually multiple times before. You've tried to do it multiple times before. Tried is maybe not the best word, but you have incarnated with the same mission multiple times before. And what I'm getting around what that purpose is it's almost it's to anchor in a new way of seeing humankind. Yeah. Your analytical the analytical side of you is actually really important. Yeah. Don't know if that's like conscious for you, if that's been something that you've been told. I don't know if you're like an quote unquote analytical person. But you have a way of seeing the world. Like your soul has a way of seeing the world that is, you're able to analyze and see through things, systems, people. I'm getting systems, a lot of systems, in a way that the world needs right now. It's almost like full transparency. And that is what you are meant to do. That is your mission. That's
Cool.
exciting.
Yeah.
How does that land?
Oh, it lands like that feels very validating. I do feel like I have a really unique way of seeing things that just comes natural to me. And I feel like the last few years, I've actually realized that I am very analytical. I never would have thought I was. And now I love it and I use it. And I just didn't know that that was me until
Yeah.
recently.
I think that oftentimes, as in our like human society, we see analytical and we see logic in a very specific, constructed way. I can't quite explain it or put it into words, but I think you know what I mean. The way you have it ingrained in just who you are is a little bit different from that, but it is a certain kind of truth that is just as true. And a word I'm getting is piercing.
Oh, yeah. Okay. That feels like if you could describe me, that would be a word
Okay,
that
piercing.
I
It's like, yeah, it's like you're piercing through the fabric.
Yes. And I guess I do have a question about that then, if I can ask.
Yeah.
I feel like I have to really suppress that piercing part of me because it's so offensive to people. And I feel like the one person that I sort of unleash it on is my husband because he can take it to, he knows I'm not being mean, but it does come out as mean and it's not. And I don't know how to like harness that ability I have without hurting people.
Okay. So the first thing I'm getting is your relationship with your stepdad plays a part in all of this.
Okay.
Yeah. So back to the communication thing and how he is an activator for the way you are learning how to communicate as a human. That's not use that relationship, but essentially like remember in the future going forward that the specific dynamic of that relationship is going to help you learn how to, again, like communicate in a way that you want to, in a way that feels right for you as you are learning. It's quite interesting. Yeah, the piercing thing is it's very much a characteristic of your soul.
Okay.
Yeah, as opposed to like if that makes sense, as opposed to a characteristic of like you human Madeline, it's a characteristic of your soul. And so as you are in this body today here, communicating with the world. It's almost like you were trying to like make those two things congruent.
Okay.
But your question was, how can you make that like easier in this life? I mean, one thing is that, I'm sure you already know this. What they're saying is that to a degree, like that is what you are meant to be. That is who you are meant to be. And that characteristic of you is there for a reason, and that needs to be activated in various circumstances, in work, in with your different relationships as well, in order for other people to be able to learn lessons from you and interact and interchange with you in the way that they need to and you're meant to. But of course, in reality, we do have to like fit into society and run with the wheels. Give me a second. Let me clarify. Do you have any clarification? What they're saying is take time to soften for yourself. So soften with yourself first. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. Soften, that's what they're saying. Soften the edges with yourself. And when you can soften that core within you from a place of like knowing and also very much intention, now that you understand that it's something that you are meant to have in a way, it's not something to be shamed, it's not something to have to feel like you have to hide, it's just something that maybe you have to very intentionally soften within yourself.
Okay.
See it from that lens. And if you can soften the core of you very intentionally, that will mean that others will also perceive you and you will also project onto others that softened version of you.
Yes. Okay. I see that. That's something that kind of lands.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Interesting. Interesting. Mm. Okay. What else? Anything
Should,
else?
should I ask another question?
Do one more.
Or okay, let me just look at my little list. I have no idea if this is something that's a good question. So if you feel like it's not, then tell me and I'll pick something else. Where I live right now, or like the general region, is this a good place for me, or do I need to be physically somewhere else on the planet?
Um, this thing, okay, they're giving you a very ambiguous answer. It's like there's no good or bad. In every place that we live, we were meant to absorb certain things, certain codes, if you will, from the land and like from your environment in a specific time. So there's no good or bad. But if you are feeling like it's stale, if you are feeling like you are no longer absorbing anything from that land, then maybe it is time to move. But that's up to you.
Okay.
They're also saying, I mean, the word, have you heard of astrocartography?
Yeah.
That might be helpful
Okay.
in terms of understanding like where places are going to give you what kind of activation and lessons. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's helpful. I've thought about looking into that, so now that makes me kind of want to do that. Cool.
Yeah. On a personal note, I do too. I haven't, but I do too. Okay. Any final burning things? I'll also let you know if anything comes up.
Um, no, I feel like that was a really solid, good amount of information for me to move forward with.
Beautiful. One last thing I want to that they're showing me again really clearly is the spring, right? It's like they're showing me two images. I kind of mentioned it before. There's that spring, it's almost like a toy on a spring, and there's just a lot of momentum. There's a lot of momentum, and the other image I'm getting is a train, and it's like full steam ahead. Really, really harness that energy right now. Like it's ripe. It's like ripe in your field. Um, yeah.
And does that, I mean, I'm assuming that that does not mean I should like burn myself out and do like a huge amount of output and energy and stress and effort. It's like I have some kind of next, I feel like I'm on like the edge of a new era, and it's going to like my life is going to explode in a good way, but I'm like not really doing it yet.
Yeah.
How what you mean?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly that. And it's so as opposed to definitely not when I say full steam ahead, it's not like it's not like, hustle, work 24 hours a day. No, no, no. It's
Yeah.
actually it's the energy of the opposite almost, like
Yeah.
allowing that energy to literally propel you forward. It's already under you, right? And right now, like a lot of maybe some subconscious fears, like you're mentioning, some things are kind of like making you resist a little bit. And it's like just
Is there something like very clear that is making me resist, or is it just in general and I just need to let go?
first thing I'm getting is general, but I just want to give it a second and see if anything else comes up. Don't be afraid of don't be afraid of judgment. I don't know if judgment's the right word for it, but I don't feel like you're afraid of being seen. There's no fear around that, but it's it's around there's something around still there's still something around worry. I don't know, worry is the right word either. Like concern, a little bit of concern underlying residual around the way people perceive you or will perceive you, or how you will, or how that will all play out to fit in a way where you are perceived in the way you want to be. Let go of that
Okay.
if you can. It's easier said than done. I know you can't just let it go.
It's gone. Okay.
But that is what is coming up.
That's
Yeah.
helpful.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
All right.
Amazing.
Well, that was a reading. That was almost a whole hour. So bye.
That was incredible. I just think Akashic Records are like the most amazing thing. So thank you so much for doing that. Oh my gosh.
You're so welcome. It's always so much fun. And it's like it's just such a it's a beautiful way for me too to really I feel like I know you on a much deeper level now. I feel like I can feel your energy. And it's just it's like each person's story beyond what is even conscious.
Yeah.
And it's like the most amazing thing. Right? To be able to like learn about your story beyond your consciousness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, for anybody who actually watched this, now you know me too. But I'm going to put all of Jade's links and information and how you can do different kinds of programs or Akashic Records or anything else. She's got a lot of different cool stuff to offer. So I'm going to put all of that linked below so that people can do this because why would you not?
Why would you not? It is just such a beautiful way to get to know yourself. So, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
All
Well,
right.
thank you so much.
So welcome.